Hello and welcome to 11 Live Midday at 11. I'm Dan Kennedy. And the other big story we're following for you today, at any moment, President Donald Trump is expected to sign an executive order dismantling the Education Department. 11 Live's Ariana Maniz joins us now live from Midtown. Ariana, what could this mean for Georgia schools?
Well, Dan, the order that we're expecting President Trump to sign today will order the Education Secretary to start the process of shutting down the department, which will shift control for education funding and policy over to the states. Advocates say this could have huge impacts on Georgia students. That's because Georgia public schools receive 16% of their funding from the federal government, but for some rural districts, that number can be as high as 35%. And that's according to Lisa Morgan, the president of the Georgia Association of Educators. Morgan says federal funds support critical programs like school meals, special education services, and after-school tutoring. She also warns that without federal oversight, there could be less accountability in how education dollars are spent and fewer protections for students with disabilities. While the White House says student loans, special education programs, and Title I funding won't be affected, educators worry about long-term funding stability.
When you cut the department, you are cutting the people that have the expertise in those areas and that have the knowledge to ensure that things are being implemented correctly. You are also cutting out the requirements that the funding be used appropriately. So it is very concerning that we are trying to take away from our neediest students, which are our students experiencing the challenges of poverty and our students with disabilities.
Now, while today's order starts the process of shutting down the Department of Education, in order to completely close an agency, it must be done with congressional approval. In the meantime, while we won't see the immediate impacts of today's executive order, Morgan adds that what we could see will happen next semester when funding is determined for public schools. In the meantime, Morgan says what's important is for educators and parents to work together to ensure that students have the resources they need no matter what happens next. Reporting from Midtown, I'm Ariana Maniz for 11 Alive. Back to you.
Ariana, thanks.